So the case had to be made. Michael Meacher was the Environment Minister, and he was very enthusiastic. So, you know, I thought we were getting on very, very well. I think everything's going very smoothly. And then suddenly, this is, I think we got to about the next May, I think. We'd had our second reading, and the government had let the bill go into committee, but had expressed the deepest reservations to me about how demanding we were being in the bill. And so one of the things we settled on, I think I'd got it down to about 5 waste streams, because I knew there just weren't markets for some of the things. But in the end, we agreed to the wording at least 2. Again, because they were so concerned that local authorities would not be able actually to cope. And it was a fair argument that if they were going to start off with doing a job which they hadn't done before, then they would have to probably grow exponentially. No, that's the wrong word, I think. They probably have to you know, ease themselves into this business. But I took the view that if we said at least 2, mostly they'd go for 3, because I was thinking they'll do plastics, they'll definitely do bottles, and they'll definitely do paper, because we knew there were markets for paper and card, that there were markets for bottles. Those 2 were very obvious, and the biggest complaints from the public were about plastics.
They were.
They were.
That was mainly because when you look at anybody's bin, what you see is the plastics in there.
Yeah.
There's not much in the way of weight, but the volume is just huge.
That's exactly right. And so even though we knew that there was a very limited market because of the lack of technology actually for recycling, we knew there was only a limited market for the bottles, but there were so many of them that it was going to be worthwhile. So I really thought they'll go for the 3, and that's what we'll start off with. And that's not a bad thing to have 3 streams when you had none. So everything was going very well, 5 months on. And then Michael Meacher, I never forget it, we were in the voting lobby, and Michael kind of sidled up to me and said, "Joan, I'm really sorry, but I've just seen the draft letter that Margaret Beckett is sending." Margaret Beckett was the Secretary of State for the Environment, that she's sending round the Cabinet, explaining why your bill will be voted down. And I was absolutely floored, because it had huge popular support, didn't it? I mean, MPs I think every MP got 1,000 letters. You know, they were all Friends of the Earth supporters, but local authorities, there were lots of progressive local authorities that wanted to do this. So it was like, oh, I can't believe it. At this stage, my own government is going to, you know, snatch this bill away from me. And I said to Michael, "Why? What is it?" And he said, "It's Gordon. It's Gordon. He will not agree that, well, whether it was Gordon personally, but at least the Treasury would not agree. They couldn't get agreement from the Treasury, and so Margaret, you know, just said, that's it. If the Treasury won't agree, then there is no bill, and we will organise for it to be, you know, talked out, voted out, whatever."